Good morning. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. Are you a good leader? Do you know how to lead your own life? Bob Proctor talks about discipline, and he said most people think about discipline as being strict or being beaten or being told what to do, but he really talks about you can't be a good leader unless you have self-discipline. And self-discipline is simply giving yourself a command and then following it. If you want to be a person of value, you want to be able to have self-control. You want to be able to study yourself and study what great leaders do and study what success is, and know that some days it feels lonely at the top. Some days it feels like you have self-doubt. But a real leader doesn't really have a need to lead. Henry Miller said the real leader is content to point the way. And people are not leaders by virtue of their position. Real leadership involves much more. You might be the boss. You might have president or general manager on your business card, but that doesn't make you a leader. Leadership involves the ability to lead. A leader is someone who knows where he or she is going and is able to persuade others to go along. In Bob Proctor's book, The ABCs of Success, he says, an organization short on money can borrow, and one with poor facilities can build. But if it's short on leadership, the likelihood of it surviving for any length of time is very poor. What makes an exceptional leader? Here are a few characteristics. Effective leaders are self-starters. They don't have to be asked to get the job done. They get their fires burning without depending on external stimuli. They have humility. You know, some people have big egos, and the last person you want to be around is a person who is really full of himself. Billy Graham once said, the smallest package in the world is a man all wrapped up in himself. Great leaders have emotional control. There's nothing wrong with blowing off steam once in a while, but it's the loss of control that ruins the impact of many potential great leaders. You don't really want to follow a leader who can't control his temper or who humiliates his staff in front of other people. A great leader has a good sense of humor. Humor attracts people, and making others laugh a little is a definite asset. They lighten the mood. Isn't it nice when you can feel the tension building up and someone makes a joke or makes light of a situation, and it's like everyone can just breathe a little easier and relax a little more, because it's when you're relaxed that you can find solutions, that you can bring in new thoughts and ideas. When it's a stressful situation and you feel like you're walking on eggshells, you can't even think clearly. All you end up doing is revolving around a problem. No, solutions are found when it's light and easy and relaxed. Great leaders have a positive attitude. People are attracted to positive people. Who wants to follow someone who's always in a foul mood or always thinking doom and gloom? Instead, in a dark and negative world, the positive leader shines and draws others to him or herself. Bob Proctor suggests that there are two types of leaders in the world. Two types of people. One is a leader, one is a follower. The difference in compensation is vast between being a leader and being a follower. Only you can decide which type of person you will be. It's hard to lead a cavalry charge if you think you look funny on a horse. Yes, a leader has to have self-confidence. A true leader is being led from within, and they have an understanding of the unseen aspect of life. An effective leader is calm, and they have a vision of where they're going. They remain focused with total confidence. They know that they're moving in the right direction. Sometimes it doesn't appear that they know where they're going. But if they have a strong conviction and a strong vision for the company, for the family, for where they're going, what they want to accomplish, they will get there no matter what. But the effective leader doesn't have an ego problem. They do not compete, they create. The effective leader is truly a creative visionary. They quietly and calmly follow the little voice within that tells them the way to go. Do you have a voice within you that tells you where you're going? Do you have a vision? If you have a vision for your life, nothing can stop you. When you are so clear on what you want, where you want to go, what you want to accomplish, you can be unstoppable. Think about something that you really want to accomplish in your lifetime. Do you have a vision for your business? Instead of buying into what other people say that it can't be done, it's never been done before, or it's going to take 5 years of hard work and slavery before you make any money. You don't have to believe those old-fashioned, outdated concepts. If you have a vision of helping people, of creating something, of changing the world, of changing the way the world does business, of bringing a product or service into the world that is missing, something that people would love, would make their life easier, would make them stronger, would make them buy whatever you're selling without you having to hard sell anyone, because your idea, your vision, your product, your service is the next great big thing people will follow you no matter what. People will pay the price because it's worth it. What ideas have you got for improving lives? Your life, the life of other people, making things easier, doing work more efficiently. When people have created something out of nothing, out of fantasy, out of thin air, and now many of those things have become, how did we live without them? Cell phones and automobiles, airplane travel, x-rays. When you look at the history of the world, how things have changed the world is always changing. Just because it's not here yet doesn't mean it's impossible. As we get relaxed and think about what we would love to have easier, simpler, more effective, and in a relaxed state of being, sometimes brainstorming with other people, sometimes sitting quietly by yourself, ideas are constantly flowing. When you're sitting quietly, no distractions, no TV, no radio, no focusing on problems, ideas will just pop into your head. When you think of a new idea, instead of dismissing it as crazy or that'll never happen or that's too much, just go along with it. What if? What if that was different? Would it look like? Leaders know where they're going, and although they have plans, they don't know how they're going to get there. They only know that they are going to get there. So the first thing is to have a goal. You can make plans and change the plans just like when you program your GPS, which is a fairly new invention in the history of mankind. Think about programming your vehicle for a faraway destination. And as you start moving, your GPS may change the route because of construction. It may take you for a little while in the opposite direction. It's not that you're going the wrong way, but you're avoiding a challenge or a difficulty. When you decide on a vision, a goal, something that you really want, it's like you're programming your inner GPS system. And some days it feels like you're going in the wrong direction, or it's taking longer than you thought, or you're running into challenges that you didn't expect. Once you overcome those challenges, around those barriers, holding your vision, you reach the destination. But you don't give up halfway and turn around and drive back to home. You trust the GPS in your vehicle. You trust your inner guidance system. As a leader, when you do more than you're being paid for, when you leave everyone with an impression of increase, when you go above and beyond and serve from the heart, people want to follow you. What would you do differently if you had all the time and all the money and all the ideas to reach your goal? What does it look like? You don't have to be leading a team or an organization or a big corporation, but what are you doing for your family, for yourself? How's your attitude regarding being in a leadership role, knowing that people are following you, whether you know it or not? If you have children or grandchildren or staff, or if you are running a team or a department or an organization, you know that people are always watching. As a good leader, you would never say, do as I say, not as I do. You want to be an example for others to follow. Sometimes that means going it alone, having people think that you're crazy. But if you have a vision, if you have a dream, a goal, something that you are going after, you want to have a bulletproof attitude. You want to be so strong in your convictions that you don't let other people's opinions talk you out of your goal. You can listen for other people's ideas that would help, but don't get talked out of your vision, out of your goal. Let's take a couple of minutes to write down, do you have a vision? Do you have a goal? Great leaders know where they're going and they don't see the whole path, but they know that they're going to get to the destination. If you knew that you have a strong conviction, you're going after something that you love, you have no idea how it could possibly happen. Maybe you've even said, oh, that'll never happen in a million years. What is that someday goal that you would love to have? Write it down and see what kind of feelings come up for you. I'll be back. Did you write something down that you truly desire, whether it's a material object or a solution to a problem, a better relationship, something that you believe will make you happy? Think about what you really want And rather than getting scared or thinking of all the negative things or all the things that could go wrong, what if it really happened? Have you ever wondered? Have you ever spent time wondering why some people continually attract negative situations into their lives while others seem to attract nothing but beautiful situations to them? That's the law of attraction. The law of attraction contains power, possibility, and promise if you know how to use it. You are a living, breathing, creative magnet. You have the ability to control what you attract into your life. If you've written down something that you truly desire, make a conscious decision to attract into your life all of the good that you desire. Over the years, there have always been a small select group of people who were aware of how to work in harmony with the natural law of the universe, the law of attraction, which is actually the law of transmutation of energy. This law clearly states that you can only attract to you that which is in harmony with you. Everything in the universe vibrates, including your mind and your body. Bob Proctor used to say, look at your body through a microscope. Look at the back of your hand through a microscope. It is a mass of energy moving, vibrating. Your mind controls the vibration that you're in at any given moment. You control your mind by the thoughts you choose. No one can cause you to think something you don't want to think. This is where freedom comes in. This is also where the problem begins with most people. They permit what is happening around them to determine how they think. 90% of the population wish for something positive but think negative. If you look at what you've written down, if you have a big, beautiful goal and you write it down and then say, oh, that can't happen because it's going to take too long. I'm not good enough. I can't because your negative thoughts put you into a negative vibration, which by the law of attraction determines what is attracted into your life. You are a creative individual and you will continually attract good things into your life by thinking positive thoughts and expecting the best life has to offer. You deserve it. You are worthy. You are valuable. You are unique. You are perfectly created. You have everything inside of you that you need in order to fulfill your dream goal. You wouldn't even have the idea, the dream, the picture, the goal, something that you deeply desire. You wouldn't have that picture or that desire unless it was meant for you. That's why it's so important to not let other people talk you out of it or not let other people's opinions get in your way. You won't know how to get a big, beautiful goal, especially one that's never been done before. You will attract all the resources, all the circumstances and situations and conditions and opportunities as you move toward your goal. You take the first step, and the universe starts to reveal a path. It's like going around a mountain. You can't see the whole path. There's lots of times hiking, you can't see what's around the corner. There's even times where you can't see the peak. But if that's where you're going, you just trust that the path will reveal itself as you keep moving. There might be barriers and detours and things you have to step around and over and go through. But the things that you go through will strengthen you along the journey. Napoleon Hill said, "Man alone has the power to transform his thoughts into physical reality. Man alone can dream and make his dreams come true." Science is a way of thinking much more than it is a body of knowledge. There are things that have changed in my lifetime that were thought to be true scientific evidence, proof of a certain thing. And then something else was found to prove that that was incorrect all along. There is a quantum field of energy that is just becoming known, that we live more. There's more than 3 dimensions. You are more than a 3-dimensional being. You are more than your body. You are a divine spark of energy. You are a spirit, an infinite being right now living in a current reality in a physical body. Use your mind to think about what you truly desire, and then your human body taking action will take you to your destination. Believe it, and then you will see it. There might be big risks involved, but how badly do you want that lifestyle that you've been dreaming of? Go get it. Start moving in the direction, and the path will be revealed to you. Create a wonderful day. Start thinking about how you can accomplish what's on your goal card or your journal or that piece of paper. What do you really want? Write it down. Think about what it's like to be there, and don't worry about how you're going to get there. Just focus on the end. And as you keep moving forward, keep believing in yourself, keep leading your own life. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. Practice being a great leader in your own life, and I'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7. Create a wonderful day. Thank you.